Good evening, everyone. The Honorable Board of Judges, Timekeeper, and of course the moderator and respect debaters for today. Before we deliver our argument for today, let give us our time for introduce ourselves and also give our yell. So, first, my name is Merari Putriwewo. You can call me Putri. I stand on here as the first speaker and also reply speaker. And behind me,
good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, and of course, respect debater. I am as the second speaker, and my name is Johanna Paula Margarita Morikaton, but you can call me Paula.
Yeah, Paula.
And the last one.
My name is Peter Rukmarla and you can call me Peter. I'm the third speaker. Thank you.
Peter.
Semangat.
Ready!
Semangat.
Ready! For the best team, 1 hour, 1 goal, 1 destiny. Dribble skill, median 7.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Okay, thank you. Introduction to the students of SMA Tingkat. Now we start on the topic of handphones should be banned at schools for the students. The students of the affirmative team, the first speaker, may take the time.
Thank you, honorable judges, moderator, timekeeper, and respected opposition team. We as the government team believe in one simple principle. School is a place for thinking, not a place for distraction. To the motion about this house believe that the use of handphone should be banned in school, and we strongly stand in support of this motion. As a society, we often feel the need to be seen by many people. We becoming more and more dependent on instant gratification to feel accepted. Based data from ResearchGate, in reality we spend a lot of time in the digital world, and this is damaging the way we interact with one another. By ban, we mean as police to clear out digital distraction, help students stay focused in class, and connect better with friends face to face. This is not a total prohibition. This is regulation for sake of educational quality. We have some point about this motion. 1. Destroying focus and academic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest problem in the classroom today is not the lack of teacher, but the lack of student focus. Handphones create constant restriction, among others, notification, social media, and instant entertainment. Even when not in use, they only present reduced concentration. Data from London School of Economics proves that after school benefits, student performance improved by 6.4%, especially among lower performing students. This make it clear, handphones are not learning tools, they are learning distraction. 2. Damaging mental health and character. Ladies and gentlemen, schools are meant to be character, not a stranger addiction. Handphone makes students addicted to screen, unable to focus, and dependent on instant gratification. And the result is anxiety, FOMO, and dependency. School must be a safe zone where students are fully present, not half in the reality and half on a screen. 3. Undermining academic integrity. Let's be honest, how many students truly think and how many students another simply copy and pass answers from the internet? With handphones allowed in school, what happens is assignment becomes instant, the thinking process disappears, and teacher cannot measure real ability. This is not education, this is an illusion of intelligence. 4. Social inequality. Not all students can afford
interruption please.
No, thank you. When phones enter the classroom, what happens is not learning, but social
Interruption please. Okay, madam, I catch your point about you talk in your first argument that you talk about the distract of digital. Madam, I have the really good question for today. We live in the digital era. That now we see that you ever say the digital era. Now, madam, my question is, what's your opinion how we can teach how a student use phone, handphone not should be banned? And my question is, what do your opinion that handphone not should be banned, but we can teach that? Can you give your argument? And you can give a realistic opinion.
Yes, thank you. My opinion is why we have to ban handphone in school, but when in digital era, my opinion is when not in use, the only presence of handphone reduce concentration. Because of that, we have to
I
ban.
get your point, but now we can see in reality. Now in school, with the rules as a school, they say that we don't have the time just to only playing phone at class, but we can use wisely at the time. Now we're talking about why handphone must be banned, and we disagree with this motion. And madam, you do not have the logical answer about that. Can you repeat again?
Okay, but we can guarantee if students can truly
Madam, you can guarantee that? Can you prove that?
yeah,
It's not the
because we can. Yes. Please.
You said about you can guarantee that. Can you prove that with the data?
I said we can
You never
guarantee.
said about guarantee. Now I need your data.
I'm sorry, but I said is we can guarantee if students can truly study with mobile phone in school. They can secretly
Madam,
using.
Madam.
Sorry, let me continue. Students can secretly use phones when teacher learning in the classroom, teaching.
But teacher can allow that. And teacher can see where they have to play and where the time that they don't have to play. Madam, you have to understand again about this, because now we're talking about what the handphone. Now we have to talk again about how to use wisely at the class, because when we use it wisely, the wisely of tool is more give a benefit.
But not all students can be controlled at all time, madam.
So if the student can be controlled all the time, teacher have to provide the rules and how they to protect the student and see our student critical thinking, and they have to made to control them in the class. Because there's another way. We have to encourage and we have to protect and we have to see about the student in the class, madam.
Do you have the data from your argument?
Sorry, madam. This is your time, and you have to provide it. This is my question, and you have to answer.
Okay, the first speaker of the affirmative team, please finish the answer to the question or finish your argument.
May I continue my argument, please? I'm sorry.
Sorry, before you answer about my question, you have to answer. Before you answer my question, you cannot continue your
Okay, please come to a closing on your first statement. First speaker.
Those with more expensive phones are more valued, while those without them are left behind. Schools should be a closer, not a place that widens the social gap. Social limit use, don't ban it. Ladies and gentlemen, elimination failed because not all students can be controlled at all times. Phones help with learning, but they are more open issues. Phones are needed to emergency, but we all also know the school already have official communication system. Honorable judges, the question is not are handphone useful, but the real question is does mobile phone belong in the classroom? And the answer is clear no. Because when handphone enter school, what needs is focus, integrity, and the
Time is up. Please put your hands together for the first speaker of the affirmative team. Very good job. Now I give the time to the first speaker of the opposition team. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time given and chance given to me. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. The Honorable Board of Judges and my intellectual colleagues from the affirmative team. Now, I'm going to... there is saying that we cannot stop the waves, but we can learn how to surf. Attempting to this motion for today, we totally disagree that handphone should be banned at the school. Let's move to this motion, the legislation. In this motion, we define the banning as a total prohibition of smartphone as a during school hours for any purpose. Today, ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable Board of Judges, we have to have the limitation of the debate. Now, today's debate must invite the mobile phone as supporting instrument for learning. Under teacher supervision, not just used for entertainment during class, and must focus on effective of phone as a tool in digital literacy and independency and tools for help providing our curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable of Judges, we have the status quo. Currently, we are live in the era of in this era digital, where now we live in the curriculum merdeka. Curriculum merdeka has really provided this motion for today. Why? Because independent truth, which demands students to be productive, seek independent learning, research, and be technological literate. According to that UNESCO, it's talking about research the future learning declares that digital literacy has the new literacy, just like reading and write in the 19th century digital literacy, a basic requirement function in the era 20s. This era, ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable of Judges, because now we're just not only talking about how students have to be banned phone at school, but now we're talking about our future. Ladies and gentlemen, and the Honorable Judges, and of course our debaters, we have to realize we use AI as a false, so as AI as a technological by phone and a phone. And a phone. It helps us to do digital literacy. Like we can see now in the reality that also there are all the schools now use the library digital. It means that, for example, is SMA Se-Kabupaten use the library digital. That means that AI is really student for their accessibility and access in the school. And the second is democratization of information, where equal access for all the students. And we can see it now, the Honorable Judges and all the ladies and gentlemen here for today. Now, we can see for all the law students can come and can search about access information from AI. So, move in the next argument is, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Educator, we can say that mobile phones should be banned at school because first, it refers to the Merdeka Curriculum. Merdeka Curriculum, no thanks. Merdeka Curriculum emphasizes the Pancasila student profile, which value creativity, critical thinking. Where this is motion, it's really we agree, and we disagree that handphone should be banned at school. No, thanks, madam. No, continue to my argument.
Improve, please.
Yeah, madam.
Madam, may I ask for your opinion why we have to use mobile phone in school if we have libraries with a lot of books?
Madam, okay, thank you. I get your point. The first, my argument, I said that now in all the schools have the library digital. Now we can access the library digital because it's the process of our school. Now, handphone is really a tool and also the one access in the school that we're really providing that. Now we can see in the reality that also there's a lot of students that they bring a phone in school, just not only for content entertainment, they bring that for searching information too. Like they use AI for a tool, and also they use technology and handphone as the first and optional as the first tool for they can search and require about the information. So continue to my argument. Because the curriculum is really provide this. The curriculum has the Pancasila profile, which value privacy and critical reasoning phone are primary instrument for student independent research finished project by applicants and mobile phone, removing from paralyzed that essence of this curriculum which is designed to digital rhythm. And second, school is a laboratory for future adaptation. The Honorable of Judges and ladies and gentlemen, now we live in this era of digital, where we know the school is just not only the place that we get about knowledge, but the school is the place that we get and how control, use AI, and also how to use wisely handphone at school. So that's why we totally disagree about this motion, because the reality and the fact say about that. Yes, madam?
Madam, how you can ensure that students use handphones to study not for gaming or non-educational lessons?
Pardon, madam?
How can you prove that students use handphone in school to study not for gaming or non-educational lessons?
Okay, madam. Of course, we can see in the reality. Also, just not only us can use handphone at school. Now we can see in our school and also in your school that also teacher when they allow students to use handphone for shoot and finish about assignment. Also, they really give us the permission and also they give us the opportunity for search information and about how we allow and provide data about how we can guarantee our students how they don't use handphone should be wise and back again to ourselves. When teacher or school give the rules and give the experience to we can bring a phone at school, also they have.
Madam, can I make suggestion?
Okay.
Based on that argument you say, that back to ourselves. That is, you're not make sure that students can use handphone in school wisely.
Sure?
Yeah.
For making sure. Okay, madam, I get your point. For making sure, back again to ourselves. Why I say okay?
Okay, please come to a closing if you're sick.
Okay. So, the Honorable Board of Judges and ladies and gentlemen, I want to zoom on. This debate today boils down to fundamental choice. Do we prepare students for the future or we just arrive them in the past? Okay, the proposition states is a build a foundation of face real of distraction and real change. But fear is an indication, is a strategy. By banning phone, we are not solving the problem. We are simply delaying infightable while stripping our position in clear. Why? Because our limitation is clear. We define that in three. First, because innovation is not isolation. Must empower students to be independent learners. Second, education not elimination. Third is a global reality. As the entity and the three we have to must.
Okay, your time is up. Please, can we get an applause for the speaker of the opposition team? Okay, now we make time for the second speaker of the affirmative team.
Okay, dear jury, the committee and the accompanying teachers, and the court team that I respect. Thank you for the opportunity that given to me. Continue the argument from the first speaker in our team. I will continue to discuss the argument and present the data or the fact that will strengthen our argument. The ban on mobile phone in school is a crucial step to restore the essence of school as a healthy social interaction space and a safe zone from digital bullying. Psychologically, teenagers have the imperfect impulse control, so the existence of the cell phone can create dopamine dependence that trigger fear of missing out, anxiety, and then discourage the ability to empathize due to loss of face-to-face communication. Data can show that cell phone-free school experience a significant decrease in cyberbullying cases, as well as an increase in student physical activities during the recess. By stopping the use of mobile phones, we not only eliminate academic distraction, but also give the students the right to breathe free air from the pressure of the social media and the pressure of virtual standards, so that they can grow up more human and supportive environment. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see in our daily life that there is a lot of data and the fact that can support the cessation of cell phone used for the student at school. Number one is impact data in Australia. Following the implementation of a public school phone ban in August 2023, South Australian school reported a dramatic improvement in school climate in 1 year later. The face anxiety, depression, loneliness, insomnia, self-harm, and eating disorders. Neurological changes. In the anxious generation, Jonathan Hayes that explains of smartphone rewire the developing brain, leading to a drastic reduction in attention span. Sleep and stability. The 2023 UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report explicitly warns that a cognitive stress period by banning the phone will allow the student nervous system to recover from the constant stress of being always connected. Disruption of the learning process. British government guidelines on February 2024 said that phones triggering unnecessary distraction that destroy the learning atmosphere for the entire class and waste valuable instructional time. Excessive digital device used for less.
Your eye, please.
No, thank you. For educational outcomes due to systematic loss of concentration, and then security and cyberbullying. Jonathan Hayes.
Your eye, please.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Madam, the next time you said about bullying. You said about student make a phone for bullying. Okay, I think you have make big wrong because I think bullying it's not come for helpful, but it's come for ourselves, for students self. It comes because students don't have a control self, and don't have a teach for the teachers. So so what's your opinion about that? Please give a proof for your statement, for your opinion. Thank you.
No discussion.
Excuse me, this is only perspective.
Okay, let me answer your question. In my opinion, but mobile phone can be tools for bullying. Like we can find so much cyberbullying cases in internet. Like
Okay, ladies, can you give one argument? And give your proof with your argument.
The second speaker from affirmative team, give your answer. If no, just continue your argument.
okay, let me continue our report. Number 4 is security and cyberbullying. Jonathan Hayes noted that cell phone-free school experience lower rate of bullying. Children are vulnerable in the digital world. A school-wide ban leave silent or off, diminishes speaking capacity. Research from the University of Chicago on Journal of the Associated Consumer Research found that cognitive ability drops significantly if a phone is within sight or in a bag, compared to when the device is placed in a different room. Smartphone can destroy the interpersonal skill essential for the future generation. Common sense media that shows teenagers have spent 7 until 9 hours daily on screen. School is often the only place where face-to-face interaction is required. Without a band, students spend breaks looking at screens rather than engaging physically.
Thank you for the second speaker for the argument. Sorry to interrupt your time. I want to call SMA Negeri Nunkolo dan SMA Negeri Kutoli. SMA Negeri Nunkolo dan SMA Kutoli. Okay, now we continue to the second speaker from the opposition team. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for the time given to me. The ladies and gentlemen, the honorable judges, and of course, affirmative team. I am as the second speaker, and in today, I will continue our first speaker argument, and I will give a proof, and I will give the data for our argument. So, ladies and gentlemen, the honorable of judges, the first, you don't become a sprinter by riding a motorcycle to the finish line. The same goes for the brain. If every or state in a test is solved by an algorithm, we're creating a generation continue my argument. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, the first is supporting the learning process or learning. Mobile phones serves as a fast information window to help students in academic. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, access learning research. Via mobile phones, students can research for additional reference, journal, or video materials via internet to develop understanding of material in class without having to go through the nozzle of visiting a computer lab. So, ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, according to research by University London Macquarie, December 17, 2024, showed that around 81% of students use smartphone to help with school assignment. Using applications such as WhatsApp also makes it easier to have group discussion and find solutions to materials that is difficult to understand. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, the second is security and emergency communication. The safety aspect is one of the main reasons parents allow their children to carry this device. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, allow their children to carry this device. Mobile phones are facilities to coordination between students and parents, especially if there is a change in the written schedule or urgent needs. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, if it's true a teacher, most students think that their parents are a matter of privacy. Most students think that their parents are a matter of privacy, so students will find it easier and more comfortable to use their personal cell phones. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, a survey by National Parents Union September 6, 2024 showed that as many as 43% of parents doubt the effectiveness of ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges. The third is about digital skill development. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, handphone can become a platform to channel writing talent or create creative content on social media as a form of positive self-existence. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, through the use of mobile-based educational application, students experience increased skill in searching, filtering, and very accurate search of information. Ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, study by Journal of University Negeri Surabaya, January 9, 2025, show that high school students demonstrate the use of applications such as Canva or Chapter to create creative learning content, which is an indicator of visual and media literacy. So, ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable of judges, once again, we strongly disagree with the motion because the use of mobile phone for students are the fairest benefit in this era.
Interruption, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you said that for emergency condition and communication, but the school have the system to communicate with the parents when the emergency condition happen, so that the student doesn't have to bring their hand.
Okay, I get your point. Sorry, I get your point, madam. But in this era, we talk about test. Okay, I will repeat again. So, madam, if we talk about communication, in this era, we know this era is era technology. This era is era digital. If we talk about communication in the schools, of course, students can think that is their privacy. So they will use their personal mobile phone, and it's more difficult than and that is more effective and more easily for students to communication with their parents than by teacher, because if they by teacher, if about their privacy. So let me continue our argument. Okay, why? So once again, why we disagree with the motion? Because one, innovation, not isolation, or most empower students to be independent learning. The second is education, not elimination. The school must navigate students to not bend. So, thank you.
Well, come to this step of affirmative. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I am the third speaker from the affirmative team. Honorable judges, respect audience, and the opposition team. Based on what has been presented by the first and the second speakers, I will deepen and clarify the links between our arguments and close any room to justification. Justification from the opposition. First, choose is an evidence. First, focus and academic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, focus is the foundation of learning. Without focus, there is no understanding. Search from the London School of Economics found that schools that banned mobile phones saw an increase in students performed by up to 6.4% with even greater improvement among loud activity. A study from the University of Chicago proved that simply having a phone nearby reduces cognitive capacity. This is known as the brain drain effect. This means this is not about discipline. This is about the biological limitations of the human brain. No molecular system can fight how the brain works. The only effective solution is to remove the distract. The second is mental health. Our team is not speaking in assumption. We are addressing a real crisis. The UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report 2023 explicitly recommends relaxation, even banning mobile phone in school due to their impact on learning disruption on mental health. Social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, in his book The Anxious Generation, explained that smartphone exposure causes a variety of brain reduction, attention span, incurs anxiety. Data shows rising cases of anxiety, depression, insomnia, and social isolation strongly correlated with expensive screen time. Schools should be placed for mental recovery, not an extension for social media pressure. Third, safety and behavior. Let us look at the real evidence. After the mobile ban in South Australia 2023, 63% decrease in social media-related incidents, 54% decrease in behavior issues, 44% decrease in policy violations, 10% decrease in violence. This is the result of real policies implementation. Banning phone has been proven to create a safer and more controlled school environment. 4. Social skill and character. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing a generation that is digital connected but social disconnected. Data from Common Sense Media shows that teenagers spend 7 until 9 hours per day on a screen.
How can you prohibit the use of cell phone in schools while the government itself requires the use of cell phones through the digital literacy in the independent curriculum? How can you prohibit the use of cell phone in schools while the government itself requires the use of cell phones through digital literacy in the independent curriculum? Change the map. Continue my POI. Ladies and gentlemen, based on curriculum July 24 to 2025 state that starting from the 2025 or 2026 academic year, the Indonesian government officially established AI and according as new subject in the national educational curriculum. So, in other words, students who use AI wisely are not looking for a shortcut, but they are copying out a form of learning that isn't the line with the direction of educational policy in the digital era. So how can you explain that? And can you give a proof with your hand? Thank you.
The speaker is your time. The speaker of affirmative team.
Okay, we can see before handphone allowed in school, there has teacher as mediator and mentor.
Sorry, can you repeat?
We can see before handphone allowed in school, there has teacher as mediator and mentor in learning. So student don't have to bring their phone if there are.
Sorry, but my POI is about this digital literacy.
Okay, if you
No discussion.
From the curriculum metric.
Let me continue arguments. Data from Common Sense Media shows that teenagers spend 7 until 9 hours per day on screens. In silent classroom, panoramic, students sit together but do not interact. Even conditions like phantom vibration syndrome opera, where 90% of teenagers feel their phone vibrating when indicator of stress and dependency. Ladies and gentlemen, so the question is simple. Do we want school to be a place of focused interaction and growth, or place of distraction, addiction, and illusion of learning? Because when mobile phone enters school, what leaves is focus, mental well-being, and education integrity. And therefore, we conclude with a firm stage. Banning mobile phone.
Time's up. Time is given to the speaker of negative team. That is yours.
Thank you. Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and the affirmative team. Sorry. Kylian Mbappe has a good position. Ronaldo, good generation. Based on our case, we totally disagree with this motion. We on the proposal side reject this motion. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, banning phones is an outdated, blunt, counterproductive solution that ignores the reality of 21st century education and student life. Instead of punishing every student for the misuse of a few, we should teach responsible use and harness to enormous educational power of mobile phone. Ladies and gentlemen, let me directly dismantle the argument just present by the proposition. I will continue my argument. First, they claim that phones reduce distraction and improve academic focus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is simply not true. In practice, modern education is not about forcing students to stare at blackboard for 6 hours. Phones, when used wisely, are powerful learning tools, instant access to this country's significant simulation and language art. Ladies and gentlemen, studies from the countries that have moved to smartphone-friendly policies such as Finland, South Korea, and a part of Australia show that control phones use actually increase engagement and digital literacy. So, ladies and gentlemen, the proposed solution at total ban does not teach students how to manage distraction. It simply removes the device and pretends the problem disappeared. Ladies and gentlemen, in the real world outside school, students will still have phones. Banning them now only leave them unprepared to handle technology responsibly. Continue to my argument. Second, the claim that phones has bullying, cheating, and behavioral problems. This is a classic case of blaming the tool instead of behavior. Cyberbullying does not begin or end inside the classroom. It happens on social media 24/7. A ban will not stop it. It will drive us underground and make it harder for the teacher and parents to detect and intervene. Ladies and gentlemen, and honorable judges, many schools now use phones positively. Students can anonymously report bullying via school apps, record advance of incidents, or quickly contact parents and counselors in emergencies. Cheating. Students cheated with the paper notes long before the phone. Excited. Sorry. The real solution is better evaluation, strict and exam protocols, and teaching integrity, not confiscating devices that are also lifelines for safety. Ladies and gentlemen, schools that implement a total ban have reported increased anxiety among students who can no longer take in working parents, especially in rural or low-income areas where parents may be far away. Now, let me present our two strong counter-arguments. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable judges, mobile phones are essential educational and safety tools. In today, classroom phones enable a personalized learning, instant feedback, and collaboration. Students from low-income families who cannot afford laptops or tablets rely on their phones for homework. A ban would widen a digital divide, not close. Furthermore, in emergency, natural disaster, sudden eyeliner security streets, a phone is the fastest way for a child to reach their parents, taking that way in the name of discipline. It's not protection, it is intelligence. A ban harms digital responsibility, a real preparation. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, we live in a world where smartphones are not luxuries. They are necessities for jobs, higher education, and daily life. By banning them, schools send the message that technology is the enemy rather than a skill to be mastered. The opposition has opposed this for smarter, clear rules, or phones on silent during lesson, used only with teacher permission for learning, combined with digital citizenship classes. This will self-discipline and prepare students for university and the workplace, where phone simply part of life. Where the phone simply part of life. Honorable judges and everyone, let me give my conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, banning phones. Yes, please.
Okay, I want to make the first argument maybe. It's all about the emergency incident in students. So if you tell about them, you don't believe about the system in school, which can which the system can contact the parents of the student if the students have emergency incident. Okay. If you say about that, I think you don't believe about system at school that can contact parents of students to tell about the emergency incident.
POS question. Thank you for your POI. I will continue my argument. I will continue my conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, banning mobile phone is a laissez-faire-driven policy that solves nothing and creates no problem. It does not improve focus, it removes a powerful learning tools. It does not stop bullying, it hides. The real path forward is responsible integration, not prohibition. We on the opposition stand for modern, practical, student-centered education. Broadly from opposition.
Well, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's come to the reply speaker. Time is given to the opposition for negative team to reply. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. I will start my speech in the third speaker, as the reply speaker in this competition today. I will zoom on why we totally disagree with this motion for today. Honorable Board of Judges, ladies and gentlemen, and our debaters. Now, today debate is a building our protest from affirmative team to protect students from both sides of the world. But a school job is not real unusual. It's a big to writer for students and medical, of course, the medical backbone can also replace at the same time. They want to hide the one. We want to teach our students how to build wine maps. Today, government team offers the temporary silence, but we opposition team offers the lifetime of this era of digital. Our argument is clear. In our argument, we decline about discipline and regulation. Second is education versus isolation. And that's why we really disagree with this motion, because the honorable judges and also ladies and gentlemen and the affirmative team, the choice is simple. You can vote for award complication through options, where students are controlled the opposition option world of competition through guidance. Ladies and gentlemen and the honorable board of judges, where students are empowered by why they can master, do not need to for the failures of the system. Let us school teach them how to live and how to use the technology of course in their need and handle. School not to have to be bad, but because in the reality we have perhaps the future of the life of the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable board of judges, let us school teach them how to live, not just obey, venture, no, code. So that's why the honorable
Next, time given to the reply of affirmative. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Honorable judges and the audience, I will be the reply speaker in our team. As we conclude the debate, I would like to summarize our vision through 3 core pillars of healthy education system. Number 1 is the preservation of focus. This first pillar is our is the belief that focus is the most valuable currently in 2026. We are living in an age of constant noise. By implementing a phone ban, we are creating a protected environment. We have provided data that showing a 6.4% increase in academic performance because when the digital noise stops, the learning is begin. We believe that by removing the brain's drain effect, we are allowing the biological potential of every student flourish without the constant tax of notification and digital pressure. Number 2 is the restoration of the human connection. The second pillar is the social emotional environment. School is the primary place where we learn to be a human. By removing the screen, we are forcing the face-to-face interaction. We are replacing likes with eye contact and comment with the conversation. Our evidence from the 2023 South Australia case study proves that a phone-free school is a safer school. It is a school where bullying incidents drop because students are present in the room, not hiding behind an anonymous screen. We are choosing to build community, not just a network. Number 3 is the institutional responsibility. The final pillar is our duty of care. We are addressing the mental health epidemic, the anxiety, the FOMO, and the deprivation by proving 7 to 8 hours of relative digital track every single day. We believe it is the responsibility of the school to be a sanctuary if the world outside is chaotic and digital overwhelming. If the world outside is chaotic and overwhelming, the school must be the one place where a student can simply be a student untracked, unjudged, and undestroyed. We are not just banning a device, we are empowering a generation. We are choosing to encourage in the prefrontal cortex for a future where students are mastered their own attention and architect their own life. We remain firmly and firmly in support of this mission. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, this is the end of the waiting for round 4, and then now for the teams, please shake hand, and then take picture in the front and leave the stage. Please. Guys, can you stand there? Then after that you have to